Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter Walton, Lawrence Street Victor, is so close to a happily ever after with Hope Logan, Annika Noel. After years of failed relationships and being the official B&B bachelor, it seemed like things were finally looking up for unlucky in love Carter. But he might not be saying, "I do," with Hope after all. Carter Walton has been nothing but supportive of Hope and Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, co-parenting their daughter Beth. But it's easy to keep the peace when you think the other man in Hope's life is going to die any day. It's obvious that Hope still loves Liam, but Carter doesn't seem to mind because he thinks Liam is living on borrowed time. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Hope will be distraught when she learns Luna Nozowa, Lisa Yamada, shot her baby daddy and will race to the hospital to be at his bedside. So far, no one from the CBS soap has confirmed that Liam Spencer is dying and leaving B&B for good. As a matter of fact, new rumors hint he may end up in a wheelchair and need his ex-wife's help. If Liam survives the shooting and beats his cancer, Carter Walton should be very concerned. According to B&B spoilers, while Liam is fighting for his life, Carter will realize that Hope is still very much in love with him. As if things couldn't get any worse, the engaged couple, Carter's former flame Daphne, will be back in town just in time to shower him with attention, while his fiancée Hope neglects him and coddles Liam. Is Carter starting to realize that his future wife is still in love with his ex-husband? Is this the end of Hope Logan's engagement? In the glossy world of fashion, power, and betrayal that is the bold and the beautiful, few characters have held on to their integrity quite like Carter Walton. The Forrester Creations CEO and legal advisor has been a steady, loyal, and loving presence in the lives of many, for better or for worse. But in a shocking twist that will send ripples through the Forrester family and beyond, Carter stumbles upon a devastating truth that changes everything he thought he knew about love, loyalty, and his future. It began as a whisper. Carter, always buried in contracts and last-minute revisions to the upcoming couture line, noticed small things, tiny shifts in tone, subtle glances, and unfinished sentences. He chalked it up to work stress, even when his girlfriend, Katie Logan, began missing calls and acting distant. Their romance had been complicated from the start, riddled with baggage from her past with Bill Spencer. But they had built something real, or so he believed. Until the whispers turned into undeniable clues. Carter had always prided himself on not being paranoid. But when Donna accidentally let it slip that she had seen Katie leaving Il Giardino late at night, without saying who she was with, it planted a seed of suspicion. He wanted to trust her. He needed to. But something gnawed at him relentlessly. He decided to investigate, not as a lawyer, not as COO, but as a man desperate for the truth. The hidden folder. One late evening at Forrester Creations, while preparing a presentation with Katie's name prominently listed as a campaign ambassador, Carter logged into a shared marketing drive to upload final edits. He stumbled across a mistakenly visible folder labeled K&W, private. Thinking it was a harmless misfile, curiosity got the better of him. The folder opened to several images, some blurry, some clear, but all unmistakable. Katie, in the embrace of Will's father, Dollar Bill Spencer. The timestamps told a story Carter never wanted to read. The clandestine dinners, the beach strolls, the unmistakable kiss beneath the moonlight. His breath caught in his throat as the digital evidence burned into his mind. It wasn't just one moment of weakness. It was an ongoing affair. His hands trembled as he closed the laptop. The silence in the office mocked him, and the echo of his heartbeat roared in his ears. Betrayal didn't scream, it whispered. And in this moment, it had whispered loudly enough to shatter his world. Flashbacks and fallout. As Carter stumbled out into the LA night, flashes of his past heartbreaks came rushing back. How Zoe used him as a pawn. How Quinn had betrayed their bond by running back to Eric, and now, Katie. He had believed that with her, he had finally found someone who valued his heart, his goodness, his loyalty. He had spent countless nights reassuring her that she wasn't a second choice to Brooke, not to Bill, and certainly not to the legacy of Spencer drama. And now, it was clear he had been a placeholder, a balm for her loneliness while she tiptoed back into the lion's den. The next morning, Carter did what few in his position would. He confronted her. The confrontation. Katie arrived at Forrester Creations, radiant as always, carrying 2 coffees. She didn't see it coming. Carter stood by the conference table, holding his phone. "We need to talk," he said, his voice low and controlled. Katie's smile faltered. "What's wrong?" He turned the phone toward her. A still image of her with Bill, lips locked in the kind of kiss Carter had once thought was reserved for them. Her coffee dropped. "Carter. I was going to tell you," she began, trembling. "Tell me when, Katie. After the holidays? After another night pretending you were with Donna or Brooke? How long were you going to lie to my face?" Tears welled in Katie's eyes. "It wasn't supposed to happen. We weren't planning it. Bill, he's the father of my child. And I." "You chose him," Carter cut her off. "Every time you said you loved me, you were still choosing him." Katie took a step forward, but Carter raised a hand. "I'm done being the consolation prize. I deserve more than stolen moments and half-truths." She tried to explain how confused she'd been, how Bill had made promises of being a better man. But her words, though sincere, couldn't undo the pain she caused. Carter walked away before she could finish, leaving her sobbing in the empty office. Cracks in the foundation. The Forrester family soon learned of the dramatic breakup. Ridge expressed concern, Brooke tried to console Katie, and even Eric shared a quiet moment with Carter in his office. "You're a good man, Carter," Eric said gently. "Sometimes people don't see the value in that until it's too late." Carter nodded silently. He appreciated the support, but it didn't ease the ache inside. Meanwhile, Bill began facing backlash of his own. Liam, still recovering emotionally from recent traumas of his own, confronted his father. "How many times are you going to ruin people's lives before you finally learn?" Bill, ever unapologetic, insisted that he and Katie shared something timeless. But even he seemed uncertain. He hadn't expected Carter to find out so explosively, or for Katie to break so completely in the aftermath. Quinn's return. Just when Carter thought he had reached emotional bottom, fate threw him another curveball. Quinn Fuller returned to Los Angeles. She walked into Forrester Creations like a storm, a more subdued, mature version of the woman Carter had once loved. After time away reflecting, managing jewelry commissions in Europe, and finding herself again, Quinn had returned not to cause trouble, but to make amends. Their first meeting was strained. Carter didn't know whether to hug her or walk away. But the moment she looked into his eyes, he felt something familiar. A flicker, a pulse. Quinn didn't pretend their history was clean. "I broke us, Carter. I let fear dictate my actions. I wasn't ready for a good man back then. But now, I just want to say I'm sorry." Carter didn't respond. Not then, but as the days passed, he found himself remembering the fire they shared, the connection, the vulnerability. It wasn't love reborn yet, but it was something. New love or new pain. As word spread about Carter's breakup, a surprising ally emerged, Paris Buckingham. Paris, once heartbroken over Carter's jilting her at the altar for Quinn, had matured. She had thrown herself into her work, focused on her career at Forrester Foundation, and buried the hurt. But seeing Carter broken again stirred up something unresolved. She invited him to a charity gala. "As friends," she said. Carter agreed. But that night, as they laughed over champagne and slow danced under crystal chandeliers, it became clear that Paris still carried a torch for him, and maybe Carter wasn't quite as closed off as he thought. He felt a lightness with her that he hadn't felt in a long time. She didn't remind him of betrayal. She reminded him of hope. Quinn watched from afar, her heart tugging at the sight. Could she let Carter move on, knowing she might still love him. A shocking letter. Just when Carter thought he might be ready to move forward, a letter arrived at Forrester Creations. Postmarked from Texas, signed by a woman named Maya Avant. The contents shocked him. Maya, his ex-wife and once a Forrester model, had written to say she had recently divorced Rick Forrester. She confessed that she had never stopped wondering what if about Carter. The letter was emotional, raw, and filled with remorse for how their romance had ended. "I know it's been years," she wrote, "but if there's even a sliver of space in your heart, I would love the chance to talk. Just talk." Carter sat in his office, holding 3 pieces of his heart: Katie's betrayal, Quinn's return, and now Maya's letter. What was the right path? Was it healing with Paris, rediscovering passion with Quinn, or revisiting unfinished business with Maya? For a man who had always worn his heart on his sleeve, Carter now found himself at a crossroad he never expected. The heartbreaking truth. But the most heartbreaking discovery wasn't Katie's betrayal or the return of old flames. It was the realization that Carter Walton, the ever-loyal, ever-loving man, had never truly chosen himself. He had been molded by others' expectations, always the fixer, always the rebound, always the one picking up pieces. He had never paused long enough to ask what he wanted. Now standing alone on the beach, staring at the waves crashing under a pink California sunset, Carter made a vow, not to any woman, not to any family, but to himself. He would stop chasing love that didn't value him. He would stop waiting for validation in someone else's arms. He would find a path forward that didn't involve betrayal, heartbreak, or second chances for those who threw him away. Because Carter Walton deserved better, and finally he knew it. Final thoughts. Carter Walton's journey has always been about love, loyalty, and quiet strength. But this heartbreaking discovery might be the catalyst that finally pushes him to become his own man. Unattached, unbroken, and undeniably bold. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, that kind of strength is the rarest thing of all. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Boldy and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.